Imagine you're only 7 years old, living in a small, quiet town. Every day, you walk home from school, safe, familiar. But one day, on your way home, everything changes. A stranger approaches you, smiles, and within minutes your entire life is taken away. This is what happened to a little boy named Steven Stainer. He was kidnapped at the age of 7 and spent the next 7 years of his life in captivity. 7 years without freedom, without his family, without even his real name. But in the end, his courage changed everything. He not only escaped, but also saved another child's life. This isn't just a crime story, it's a story about bravery, survival, and tragedy. And, strangely enough, the darkness didn't end there, because Steven's older brother would later become one of California's most infamous serial killers. Today, we're diving deep into the incredible, heartbreaking case of Steven Stainer. The kidnapping, December 1972. The small farming town of Merced, California. Steven, a cheerful 7-year-old boy, is walking home from school. It's the 4th of December, 1972. The sky is gray, rain is falling, the streets are quiet. A man named Kenneth Parnell, 41 years old, already a convicted sex offender, is searching for a victim. He convinces an accomplice, Edward Irvin, to help him lure a child. Irvin approaches Steven on the street. "Hey kid, wanna come with me? Someone wants to give you a gift." Innocent and trusting, Steven agrees. He climbs into the car, and at that moment, his childhood is stolen. Life in captivity. That first night, Parnell lies to Steven. "Your parents don't want you anymore. I'm your new guardian." He changes Steven's name. From now on, he is Dennis Gregory Parnell. The boy is forced to live in a remote cabin with his abductor. For the next 7 years, Steven suffers unspeakable abuse. To outsiders, Parnell pretends Steven is his son. To avoid suspicion, he even allows Steven to attend school. Teachers and classmates know him only as Dennis. He learns to lie about his past, to hide his true identity, to live in constant fear. Every day, deep inside, he dreams of going home, but the years keep slipping away. Growing up in captivity, 7_14. As time passes, Steven grows from a child into a teenager. His face changes, his voice deepens, but the pain of captivity remains. He struggles to fit in at school, often quiet, distant, withdrawn. Teachers later recalled he always seemed sad, something wasn't right. But no one suspected the truth. By now, Steven has spent half of his life in captivity. His parents and siblings, still in Merced, never stopped hoping he would return, but the trail was cold, the case nearly forgotten. The arrival of Timmy White. In 1980, Parnell decides one child isn't enough. He kidnaps another boy, 5-year-old Timothy White. When Steven meets Timmy, he sees himself 7 years earlier. He knows the suffering Timmy is about to endure. And in that moment, Steven makes a decision. He will not let another child go through what he went through. The daring escape. One night, while Parnell is away at work, Steven acts. He takes Timmy by the hand and leads him out into the cold night. The boys walk for miles, tired, frightened, but determined. Finally, they find a police station in Ukiah, California. Steven pushes Timmy inside and tells the officers, "This boy needs to go home. I know my first name is Steven." For the first time in 7 years, Steven reveals the truth. The nightmare is finally over. The trial and light sentence. Kenneth Parnell is arrested and charged. The public expects a long prison sentence. But in a shocking outcome, Parnell is only convicted of kidnapping, not sexual assault. His punishment, 7 years in prison. He serves less than 5. Outrage spreads across California. Many argue the justice system failed both Steven and Timmy. Returning home. After 7 years, Steven is reunited with his family. At first it seems like a miracle. His parents, siblings, and neighbors rejoice. But reality is difficult. Steven isn't the same little boy who disappeared. He's a teenager with deep scars, struggling to adjust to normal life. He clashes with his parents, has trouble at school, and feels like an outsider in his own home. For years, he battles the weight of trauma, fame, and a television movie. The media is fascinated by Steven's story. In 1989, a television miniseries dramatizes his life. I Know My First Name is Steven. Millions watch, and Steven becomes known nationwide as a survivor and a hero. But privately, he longs for a quiet, normal life. A tragic death. That same year, tragedy strikes again. On the 16th of September, 1989, Steven is riding his motorcycle when he crashes. He dies instantly. He was only 24 years old. He left behind a wife and 2 young children. The boy who had endured so much never lived long enough to see peace. The fate of Timmy White. Timothy White grows up and becomes a sheriff's deputy. He often spoke about Steven, calling him his hero. In 2010, Timothy died at just 35 years old. At his funeral, colleagues said, "He was alive because Steven Stainer had the courage to save him." The dark secret of the Stainer family, Cary Stainer. As if this story wasn't already tragic enough, there's another twist. Steven's older brother, Cary Stainer, followed a very different path. While Steven was hailed as a hero, Cary struggled with mental illness and isolation. In 1999, Cary Stainer became a serial killer. Near Yosemite National Park, he murdered 4 women in a brutal series of killings that shocked the nation. When arrested, Cary calmly confessed, showing little remorse. He was sentenced to death and remains on death row to this day. The irony was staggering. One brother, remembered as a hero who saved a child. The other, condemned as a killer who destroyed innocent lives. The story of Steven Stainer is one of the most haunting in American history. A boy stolen from his family, forced to live under a false identity, abused for years, yet in the end, he found the strength to save another child. He didn't live long, but his courage left a lasting legacy. Meanwhile, his family's tragedy deepened with the crimes of his brother Cary, leaving a dark shadow over the Stainer name. Steven's story is a reminder of the resilience of the human spirit and the importance of protecting children, seeking justice, and never forgetting the victims. His words still echo through history. I know my first name is Steven.